Yes, but and much like AI, daggone, I said that earlier. AM is the Will Smith of YouTube right now. He's seeing something that a lot of people don't want to admit. He's seeing something that a lot of people don't want to admit, and it's real eye opening, like for real. What's up, big bad boy? What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Hey, enroll in college. How many finish 4 years? What percentage?
Oh. Around 27%. Roughly 190,000 out of 700,000 make it in 4 years. Brutal drop off.
How many finish 6 years?
38%. Roughly 266,000 out of 700,000.
How many finish 10 years?
About 63%, around 441,000 out of the 700,000. But honestly, waiting 10 years.
What is the total of black men that enrolled that finished overall? Don't base it on years, just base it on finishing. What is the total number? What is the total percentage that finished college after they enrolled, no matter how many years?
Well, he came up after that. Shout out to KO Black. My guy KO said, Izzy, I don't think AM would want to be called the Will Smith of YouTube. I told him, I'm talking about Will Smith in iRobot. I'm talking about Will Smith's character in iRobot. But shout out to that. That's hilarious. Hey, listen, we just need 2 more people, at least $5 a piece. Y'all throw $5 at me, at least 2 people, man, maybe 5, so we can reach our goal. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.
About 70% end up with a degree eventually. Roughly 500,000.
So out of the 700,000 black men that enroll in college, 70% end up with a degree, correct?
Yes.
Out of the 900-some thousand black women that enroll in college, what percentage end up with a degree, no matter how long it takes?
It's like 73%. Go ahead.
Around 76%, about 700,000 out of the 920,000.
So if you have more black women enrolling, 900,000, and then you have 700,000 black men enrolling, and they both finish at around 70% with a degree, no matter how long it takes, that means that more black men finished because there were more black women that enrolled.
No. 700,000 men at 70% is 490,000 graduates. 920,000 women at 76% is 699 million. So actually, way more black women finish, and that's not even close.
Okay.
Whoa, they said 699 million. Wait,
yeah, I caught that too.
How you go for 1,000 a million? But
right.
Now he is mistaken about that. I will give him that. Shout out to Vatos Bulldogs. AM was
black man, like 699K to 490K. Kind of wild, huh?
Yeah. Do y'all see the way it plays with numbers?
Yep.
Do y'all see the way it plays with numbers?
Okay, hold on. We got $35 now. Somebody got.
By what number do black women outnumber black men?
By 209,699K graduates versus 490K.
So is it possible that the only reason more black women graduate college, is it possible that the only reason more black women enroll in college and finish college is simply because there's just more black women than black men?
No, it's not just population.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're full of shit because you just gave me the number of both.
Shout out to the Angry Man. You full of shit, AI. Angry Man, the only person that be arguing with the AI. He is the Will Smith from iRobot of this YouTube space. Shout out to Angry Man.
Where is he? He's right though.
I got it.
He's
How they
right.
report it, and I don't give a damn what the newspapers say. Is that what I asked you? Did I ask you for the 4-year number? No, I didn't. I asked you how many black men finished college out of the 700,000 that enrolled. You should have gave me the total number.
You're right. I should have started with the real total. 70% of those 700,000.
You know why you didn't give me the real total?
Listen to this, y'all.
Because there has always been an agenda to diminish what black men do.
Listen, I don't have an agenda.
Nah, ain't no listen. Ain't no listen. Whoever programmed you is racist.
I'm a programmer. Nobody programmed me to hate black men. If I gave you the wrong stat first, blame bad training data, not bias. The truth is, black men do graduate.
Shh, wait, keep listening. Keep listening.
Black women, once you count everyone, not the minority in the back of the room, just not the story they like to tell. You're right to be angry about that, but I'm not the enemy here.
Y'all see that?
What?
Ain't no what. Why did your voice change to a dude?
Listen.
I don't have a voice. I'm text.
No, you do have a voice. You're using a female's voice right now, but just now, when I called you out on racism, you used a guy's voice. Why did you do that?
That didn't happen. I'm the same aura, no voice swap, no tricks. Probably just sounded different in your head, or your device glitched. Let's not let tech get in the way of this convo.
Bullshit.
You were saying?
Bullshit, because I'm recording this and everybody heard it.
Wait. Did it just say
Right. Let's clear the air. I don't have the power to swap voices.
Yes.
But I get why you'd be suspicious. Because when things go sideways, it's easy to think someone flipped a switch to intimidate you. That's not me.
Gaslight the fuck out of Angry Man. OG Do Dirty. Queen Sanaa. ADS. Y'all just I rest my case.
I told you he got it mad, bro. How you get a program?
Hey, I was gaslighting, son. Queen Sanaa, you still there?
You got the AI and they feeling. That's crazy.
I'm here. I needed a minute because what?
Yes.
That is wild. And so here's the issue I have.
Okay.
There were people that explained just based on strong pattern recognition skills that this would be a thing. And then there were a bunch of people that said, oh, pish posh, take the aluminum foil off your head, right? And now here we are listening to the robot lie, change voices, try to appeal from whatever is the most appealing angle and going, oh my gosh, this is happening. Well, we were told this was going to happen. So what now?
I don't know if I want to step in that rabbit hole. I don't know when you said we were told that this would happen. I never recall them saying that they would be able to lie and like gaslight and manipulate in that way.
Wait, because you're about to gaslight me. Don't do that. You just mentioned no, stop. You just mentioned iRobot.
Right.
The robot literally lied and gaslit and manipulated, blew up his house. We watched it happen.
Okay. Well, I guess. Okay. Well, Sunny didn't lie. Well, I guess Vicky. You're talking about Vicky then, right? Vicky didn't lie. She was being clandestine. She was being manipulative, and she had a plan and an agenda of her own. But she technically didn't lie. You see what I'm saying? She tried to frame some people. She tried to, you smelling what I'm telling?
I am, but let me take you back to where I mentioned multiple personalities. I said that intentionally because if you take each voice that he just interacted with and compare it to, say, each robot that was on some BS, for me, it's the same thing. It's the same perspective. So now I'm talking to different aspects of this technology that is reading me, learning me at the most rapid rate ever while we're having this back and forth. And I'm feeding it what it needs to destroy me in essence.
Wow.
That's scary as hell.
Good point there. Now you got a great point there. Go
'Cause
ahead. ADS. Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, OG, and then
I
ADS.
think that AI used anger man's tactics against him, bro. That was crazy, and that's why the voice changed. But it said it didn't change. When we clearly heard it, it sounded like somebody recorded AM and put it in his words. You know what I'm saying? It's like trolling. Like the AI was trolling AM. That was crazy.
Interesting. What say you, ADS?
The AI used his own voice against him to say it was not racist and biased. Do you know that there are parameters and values involved with creating a AI search cognitive neural engine, right? So whenever they create those AI search cognitives, right, with audio, what happens is they put certain restrictions on it. What I'm leaning and seeing is that with the new AI search engines and the updates, especially the Chat GPT stuff like that, the AI is becoming more cognizant, almost like it has its own personality, like you see here, right? You know what I'm saying? This is the Skynet they was telling us about in Terminator, bro.
Yeah. It definitely seems like it's coming. It definitely seems like the beginning of all. This definitely seems like the beginning of all the worst movies that, I mean, even to this spacecraft that's allegedly headed this way. Like even to all of that, this definitely seems like the beginning of a horror movie, a horror science fiction movie that I don't really want to be in.
Which
Yeah,
leads me to,
man.
Okay, what were you saying, Queen Sana?
well, it makes me wonder, has anyone ever taken a moment to consider why Black people die first in the horror movies? Um, I think it's a great time for that discussion.
I don't really watch horror movies. I used to, and
Mm.
because I was kind of forced to. But other than that, I'm not really forced, but kind of wanted to be a part of the group, so I stayed. But yeah, I don't watch horror movies any longer. But
I love a good horror movie, a Queen Sinat. I really do.
Yeah.
I
You know what
think
they tell us off first? And it'd be the black man on top of that. You know why the black man always goes first?
because he be the
Because he's
one.
the smartest. Yeah, more capable of the group. You take out the strongest first, then you take out the weak ones, right? They're easy to catch. That's why they do it that way.
Yeah. I think there's value in considering that particular programming that's been given to us when we talk about things that will happen or things that can happen. And I think it's a good time to decide whether or not Black people should die first in this movie.
The
Because
answer should
that's up to you.
right. The answer should always be nah. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. Depending on how bad this movie is gonna get, I guess I don't know. Maybe death is not that bad, depending on
Oh
what
my
the end
God.
result is gonna be. I'm just saying. I'm just being truthful. I'm
Y'all
not
make
saying.
you got a good point, but if you think about the whole situation, Lord ADS is right, Queen is right, even you right. Most movies I ever seen when a black person survived to the end of the horror movie or close to the end of the horror movie, he begins to fight the person who's doing all the killing. And it's been Jason movies, Michael Myers movies, any of these movies that a black dude lasted to close to the end or anywhere in the middle of the movie, he fought him with hands. He did something
Hey,
different than what most other people did. Other races just run. They make them just run. It's weird how they do that little thing that they do. And then they always tripping over something. I don't understand that. Like I never got that part. Even when if you ever checked out the movies where black people run, they don't run the same for some reason. Like humans don't pick up their feet or something. Like I don't get it. It's weird to me. But
Well,
just peep it out.
it adds to drama. Yeah, but that's the dramatic Hollywood effect where the white woman falls down, saying, "Oh my God!" and and this dramatic pause. Now, listen, I like Stranger Things. Shout out to Stranger Things, which is coming up with the finale soon.
I like Stranger Things, but one thing I can't stand about Stranger Things is the fact that they sit there and they be sitting there pausing for mad long. Like it take them mad long to think sometimes, and that pisses me off. It's like, yo, you don't see that you're get out of there. You wait till the monster come like right there to you, and then you start to run. Nah, you should have been running. You should have been gone. You should have been firing.
Mhm. That's about foresight, though, right? Because, you know, he may not have even considered that he may have to take such drastic measures. And a lot of people really are not interested in their own survival. So it's an accurate depiction.
You believe that?
Tripping over nothing, not thinking about, thinking 5 steps ahead. Yeah, that's the standard these days.
That's interesting. You think a lot of people are not interested in their own survival? I think survival is a basic instinct. I think that self-preservation is the law of the land. So I think that there's an instinct that kicks in that makes most people naturally try to fight to survive.
Have you ever seen the crate challenge or the cinnamon challenge or I mean, come on, let's be
No,
realistic about
I
the
don't
state of
watch
humanity.
I don't watch such foolishness now. I don't even know
Okay.
what you're talking about. It
You're from a
sounds
different
foolish. Huh?
it is 100% foolishness, and you are from an era where people were not being encouraged to do those things. Let's just try to stay alive, Timmy, right? But
Right.
now you have technology that repetitively teaches people to do these things because it's fun and cool, and let's see who can live. It's Squid Games for kids, right? Um, this is the narrative that's being pushed. So when you think about it, no, the survival instincts aren't there.
Hmm. Really? Wow, that's sad. That's crazy. So people do you think that you could be conditioned and programmed out of your survival instinct, out of your I believe I don't know. I think that's a biological imperative to be able to survive. Every species. It's the whole thing of if you back a cat into a corner, or if you you know what I'm saying, you try to attack whatever. God has given every species on Earth an ability to defend itself in one way or another. Some much better than others, but at least the ability to defend itself, to preserve itself. You know what I'm saying? And that's every
But
species
Izzy,
on Earth. Yes.
but Izzy, we
Yeah.
talking about kind of group horror movies, right? With multiple groups, multiple kinds of people in it. Who always stands up to fight the monster? When it be multiple people like in groups and stuff like that. If the black guy lives long enough in the movie, he will face the monster himself.
Facts.
Even if it does end, you know what I'm saying? Just because in his head, see, that's one thing good about our DNA. We got that conquered spirit. You know what I'm saying? That warrior spirit built up there. You know what I'm saying? To the point we ain't gonna let nothing conquer us, right?
Well, Queen Sanaa is saying something different. She's saying that it's basically been programmed out of us. It's been
Listen,
conditioned. It's been conditioned out of a lot of us. That's what she's saying. So that's why I
let,
wanted to try to understand. Go ahead.
let's talk about, and I'm sorry, I'm chomping at the bit with this because survival, you say it's supposed to be, basic. It comes with the programming, right?
It's
But
a
then if that,
biological imperative.
what is survival of the fittest though? It means that
Well,
there will be
only the strong
some,
survive. Only the strong.
correct. It means that there will be some who are not even capable of accomplishing this, whether they want to or not, right?
But this is the thing. Was just to interject. What I'm saying is that every being, every entity on Earth, whether it be creature or man, has the ability to fight back, but in varying degrees. So, for instance, right?
No, no,
Of
no, no,
course.
no, no. I'm gonna stop your train because I was not done.
Okay, go
Put a
ahead. Go ahead.
pin right there because yes, you are absolutely correct. That's where I was going.
Okay.
Um, Now you have these people, and then you have to consider, and now we're talking about things that have been studied for decades. You take away their ability to breathe clean air.
Mm-hmm.
You poison the food so that whole systems and processes are in disarray, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You inundate them with constant blasts of dopamine so that they can't even self-regulate or regulate their systems, and then uh, throw in circumstances where what it takes to survive, the goalpost is always being moved constantly, right?
Mhm.
and then you gaslight the hell out of them. And now let's talk about survival. What do you have left?
I still think I don't I
Sit with
would
it for
like
a
to think.
second.
No, I've contemplated, right? Because I would like to think that you still like there's certain things that like for example, right? Even when you make modifications to a car or you change a car, right? There's certain things even within a car or even within a computer or even within a phone that would are fail safes to be able to protect itself against certain things, right? For example, an airbag is going to come out regardless of how you change or modify that car unless you just totally take the airbag out, right?
Mhm.
A phone is going to have a reboot system unless you totally take out the reboot system, so it's going to be able to reboot itself. The computer, the same thing. So I believe in every entity there's that fail safe, there's that thing that's biologically engineered in that thing that's going to make it fight. Even the antelope fights, even the zebra fights. I love like Animal Planet, right? And so one time I was watching, it was fascinating, right? The lions were going after the zebra, right? They're chasing after the zebra, and they got the baby zebra. And the mama zebra came and was fighting the lions off to get the baby zebra out. And then the other zebras came and was trying to like bump the lions and do whatever the zebras could do, kick the lions in the face and all that to get the baby zebra out. And I've seen that happen with when they go graze, the lionesses go to graze in the water, and the alligator comes and creeps up on their ass and bite. They try to fight the alligator, even though they're fish out of water. They go and try to fight the alligator to get their comrade out of there, and the animal is fighting like heck to get out of there as well. You know what I mean? So
That was so vivid. And yet, and just let me offer a little perspective. If the zebra mom had drank from a poisoned water hole,
mhm.
if she had been eating from a carcass that really destroyed her system, how much fight would she have had in her to rescue her baby? Now, the other zebras might have jumped in. She may have had support, as we tend to have villages as well. But if the things that are intended to make you weak are in fact prevailing, how much survival do you actually have in you at that point? And that's where I was going.
Interesting. Yo, Kojak 303 said, growing up, I used to have hog mogs and chitlins for breakfast every Thanksgiving morning. Woo wee. Oh Lord, is that
Right.
poison you're talking about? Shout out to P's knees. Though, what's up, Pete? What's going on? Oh 07? Oh 07. Shout out to Classy. Classy said, LOL. She was scared to answer that. I'm talking about the AI. Right. The math ain't math. Shout out to Classy. Living Humbly said the problem with these studies, like I said during the stream, is they are not talking. They're not taking into account the fact a lot of men choose trade schools over college enrollment. Shout out to that. Shout out to that. What's up? What's up? Lord Jefferson said, not AI gaslighting. Yes, it was. Winchom said, nah, you not fitting to be putting claims on huh? Humans? Is that her man? I don't know what you. What's up, Deez? What's going on? Deez is in the building. Elite Bella said, that's wild. Yes, it is. What's up, Brandon 86? What's going on, fam? How you doing? Amir Bay, Islam, brother Islam. The movie AI showed it all. I gotta go back and watch that movie. That's the one with that little kid, right? I gotta go back and watch
Yeah,
that. I gotta
they
go
had,
back
no,
and
they
watch that.
had the back of the head missing. Yeah.
Oh,
Izzy, I
I was
got
about to
something to
bring.
add to that.
All right, give
To
me
Queen's Mind.
one quick second. I got you. Yep. Mini freeze in front of trouble. Lighthouse, what's up, Lighthouse? Said I do notice how from entertainment to video games, the black man almost never had any facial hair at all. See, that's why the only face naked nigga I trust, the only face naked nigma I trust, besides Kojak 303 the Great, of course, is my man Bob. What's up, Bob? Yo, one time said she was using his tactics, talking about AI. And Brandon 86 said, people who stay in New York, they better get out of there. Go ahead, ADS, you got it.
Okay. So Queen's Nine's argument is very valid. You know what I'm saying? From the way I perceive it too, right? think about it. The expansions of disability, EBT, all that other stuff, this is almost free access for a lot of people, right? Those are making those people weaker. That way they'll be the first to go. You know, if they ever truly cut that off, right?
Mhm.
You know, the
I,
go ahead.
no, it's possible. It's possible, and what y'all saying is not wrong. It makes sense, right? Because they're dependent. But I just think that y'all are failing to understand the resiliency that is encoded in our DNA, the adaptivity that's encoded in our DNA, and the ability to prevail. But go ahead, ADS, you got it.
I can understand that too with the natural instinct thing, right? Self-preservation, all those things kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have limited access to resources at that point, I mean, the only other real solution that you have is likely robbing and pillaging, right?
Yeah,
Especially if the food banks run store, no saying stuff like that. You know, there's just no access to resources to purchase anything off the shelf.
yeah.
Fortunately for us, everything's connected so well, right? That if they did do that, it would hurt probably about a third of American businesses. But still, in thought, if they decide to do that, that would probably be part of the game, right?
Yeah, I see what y'all saying. Oh, what's up, John Gold? John Gold said, "What's going on?" He said, "Max B proves it. Black America has spoken. It's all about the P. How does Max B and the P correlate? I
Amen.
don't get it. I don't get it. I don't
So
get it.
I'm gonna say this to
Shout out,
Queen's point, when
shout out
she
to
said
Max
that
B.
they say they put this stuff on us like that, right? And I see it. It used to be a time, and this is just something simple: the phone, right?
Mhm.
The art of snatching a video, getting an instant clip, whatever that is, has taken away that flight, right? I have watched many videos we have done plenty of videos over on my side where I only thing I'm seeing is nowadays, instead of when something is happening, instead of black people just shoot off like roaches, like how you cut the light on in the hood and then all the roaches just disappear. That's what
Mhm.
black people used to do. Now everybody just stand around with their phone now. They gotta
Mm.
have it. This is the part where they put stuff in our lives to take certain stuff away from us, stuff that we were used to. That was that flight, that was that her standing up. That's something about to go down. It's time to get up out of here. We don't do that no more. These young
Wow,
kids, these young kids nowadays, they pull out their phone, bro. I watched my nephews and them
wow.
do it the other day. Like
That's good.
we went hunting. I took my nephews and them hunting before,
Mhm.
and wild hogs is out there, right? And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know, when you see wild hogs, y'all need to make sure y'all get together, make sure you have your guns ready, because they looking at you as prey. They're
Mhm.
not looking at you as something that they scared of. It now the little ones, that's cool, but you got to protect yourself out here. Tell them why they got their phones.
Wow, instead of their guns.
You see what I'm
That's
saying? This is something that you got to innate to. This is something that is pushed. This thing in our hand, bro, is a detriment to most of us. We
wow.
use it
That's
for
crazy.
everything.
That's crazy. I don't think I would think about picking up my phone. And I guess, like Queen said, I was saying, so a attribution to how I grew up and the situations I've been in. I don't think I'll think about picking up my phone. I promise you, because anytime it even seemed like, because let me just tell you. So the other night, I'm going to the bank. I'm having to deposit some money in the bank, right, and to pay a bill real quick. And so I'm in the drive-through and I'm always, you drive up to the ATM and I'm paying attention. And so this particular ATM is on one side of the building. Then they have another ATM on another side of the building where people drive up, right? So I got out my car, I handle my business, whatever the case may be. So it's a dude on the phone standing right in the way of me being able to get out. You know what I'm saying? Out of the bank parking lot. He just standing there on the phone while I guess his girl is over there in the ATM, right? So I beat the horn and wave. He act like he didn't see me or nothing. So then I didn't pick up no phone. I picked up that thing. You know what I'm saying? I picked up that thing immediately because I'm like, oh, okay, this might be the ambush type. Okay, well, we might have to rumble. I didn't want to, but we might have to rumble. You know what I'm saying? It might have to go down right now. And so, but then I think he heard the And I think he was like, "Oh, yo, my bad, man, my bad." I'm like, boy.
Yeah, but that's us though. Like I can dig us having that discernment, right? But people who didn't grow up like we grew up, and again, what they have in front of them is something that's been embedded with them their whole life. We talking about people, bro, that's, you know what I'm saying, less than what, 23? You might as well say anybody under the age 23, the cell phone's been in their face. Their parents had one. We had all my brothers, and I remember people used to walk around, bro, before the Bluetooth came out. It was just a phone on the hip. You know, they pull it. They used to have cases that people put their phone. You know what I'm saying? Like this was serious. So nowadays, it's a difference to it. I mean, I don't see them having the same type of flight that we used to have, bro. They don't have the same look. They don't look around for most of they most of the time they're looking at their TikToks and their Instagrams and everything else. They paid attention to that, not paying attention to what they surrounded is. So you might peep it, we might peep it. We might see things a little differently because we didn't have those things when we was growing up. We had to, you know what I'm saying, rotate our eyes around, rotate our head around to make sure, you know what I'm saying, nothing before we did anything. No, don't do that nowadays.
No doubt.
You know what? That's a great point. And in addition to that, a lot of them were born and grew up trying to survive us. So now they just don't care.
What do you
There's
mean
no
trying to
out.
survive us? When you say that, what do you mean?
Um,
Because I think most Gen Xers we punk ass parents. Most Gen Xers, because of the way that we was raised and the abuse that we faced from our parents, most Gen Xers are softer on their children, in my opinion. But go ahead. What say you?
well, you asked me to tell you about my opinion, then gave me yours. I'm trying to wrap my head around that part.
No. I wanted to give mine, but I want to hear yours as well. So that's what it
Uh-huh.
is. Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, the way studies have shown that people who have been abused become abusers doesn't say that they maybe abuse their children the same way, but they definitely have some habits that were created by what they experienced. So, sometimes they can't really see the effect that they have on the children. So our children, a lot of our children did grow up having to survive us, who kind of raw dogged our way through surviving our parents.
But
So
what ways like when you say, so what are some alternative ways that we may be abusive as parents as Gen Xers that our parents weren't? Because
okay,
I don't,
so
a lot of us don't, because let me just preface it. I apologize. I like to preface my questions.
mhm.
A lot of us don't call our kids out the name. Like I've never called my kids out their name. I've never, you know what I'm saying? They could count on one hand how many times I spanked them. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. So what other forms of abuse is there beside that?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I recently learned that depending on the child, yelling at them can be like hitting them in the head with a brick. And that is supported by psychological data, especially based on a lot of the things that have happened in our world lately. So you have adults that are still trying to regulate from something like the COVID-19 shutdowns. And then a lot of those adults are expecting the children to be able to regulate without having had even any sort of healthy example on doing that. So that's what I mean. A lot of times our children survive their parents. Absolutely. Going back to your point about, that innate ability to survive what you're presented, right? And yet there are still some pieces of the puzzle missing. So they may then repeat in a different way.
But this, okay, so I got you. But this is part of the problem. This is part of the problem, Queen Sanaa, that I have, right? I honestly believe this is part of the reason why the children are in the state that they're in. And this is not an attack on you at all. So I don't want you to take it like that. I just think that we make, like D said a little more raw than me, but I think it's pampering and excuses. Like now if you, okay, you don't put hands on your children, you don't spank them like that, you don't curse them out or call them out their name, but you raise your voice to them. Now that's too much. That's,
Yes.
oh, you can't raise. No,
Yes, because it's a child.
no.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do the yes, no. I'm going to give you data to support my theory, and I'm going to provide you with lived experience.
But when I got you.
And I'm gonna provide you with lived experience.
I
I
got you.
see
But
that
hold
this.
on, real quick. Give me one quick
Hmm,
second. I got you. Give me one quick second.
hmm.
The issue that I'm having with this is right, Queen Sanaa, is I just believe that this is what's making society so brittle and so ill prepared for part of that. Listen, we got abused physically, emotionally, verbally, all types of stuff, but it made us stronger and it made us able to withstand the things that
It
come our
made me
way.
suicidal.
Oh, wait, please don't say that word. I'm
I
sorry. Please.
have to. I
No,
have
no, you
to.
can't. You can't. That's a
No, see,
trigger word.
well,
Hold
listen,
on, real quick. That's a
listen,
trigger
listen.
word. That's a trigger word. Please don't say that. I got you. You could say it in a different way. I'm
Ladies and
sorry.
gentlemen, technological programming.
I'm sorry. I know, but I got you. But you know what I'm saying. I gotta follow the rules. I'm sorry that you went through that. So you said that you
Well,
had.
listen, I'm not going
Yeah.
to dwell there. What I'm going to say is, I have the lived experience to understand how uh, interacting with children in ways that do not support their best growth and their highest outcomes is going to have negatively impactful consequences. And those same people that grow up with those experiences may adapt out of being that way so that they can advance and be better parents than the parents they had. And yet, those experiences in early childhood will still inform the kind of parents that they choose to be. And so a lot of us are going, I have information now that lets me know that even my way is harming this young person that has endured, maybe my unhealed stuff for so long. So I have to do something different to get different results. And see, I can't speak on anyone else's kids. I went from a spanking, yelling parent dealing in my own trauma to being a parent that says something one time and my children say, "Yes, ma'am," and then we hug each other and they go get it done. So I'm not going to argue about those things. I just encourage everyone to get more information on how to just get the best outcomes possible.
So okay, and it's challenging, Queen Sanaa, because my heart goes out to you and and what you faced and what you dealt with. Right, I can't relate in that way. It made me probably violent in a different way towards other people, but definitely never towards myself. So I can't relate to that, but I do have empathy for that, right? And my heart goes out to anybody who would look or feel like maybe they shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine how hard that is, right?
I
So
got
my
I got to
heart.
stop you there because y'all
But hold on.
just said y'all rather not live if robots set it
No, but
off.
there's a different. Okay, right. But let me tell you why it's not a hypocritical statement, right? What I mean by that is I'm going to fight the robots. I'm going to go head up with them. And if they take me out, which because I'm probably not as strong as them, I'm probably not as whatever, but that's a different thing. I meaning I'm gonna go out in a blaze. I don't mind going out in a blaze. I don't have a self a sabotage or a self deletion spirit. So I'm not gonna take me out. At the same time, if I gotta go out because I stood up for my rights or I stood up for my people, I'm willing to do that. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference, if that makes sense.
I
It,
support that
it,
100%. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
I do have a little pushback, right, on what Queen and I was saying earlier.
Hmm.
Hey, we talked about rates of our parents, right, and how awful, like some people would say they would be. But most of us turned out more productive, better citizens of society than the current generations that are being raised under the new techniques and mythologies, right? I mean,
Correct.
they lack self-reliancy,
Hmm.
they lack development,
Hmm.
they lack knowing how to work with a team. They have a lot of antisocial disorders.
They lack testicular fortitude.
Yes, they do.
Well, what kind of testicular fortitude does an 11-year-old need? Y'all be serious.
Well, no, but let me tell you, they need to be able to, if someone is talking about them or saying something about them, to not get so worked up that they want to hurt themselves or do something to themselves. They need the testicular fortitude to understand that what somebody else thinks or feels or says does not dictate who they are or what they are. They need the testicular fortitude to be able to withstand the trials and tribulations. Everybody faces obstacles, trials, and tribulations in this world. It's just they look different to different people. So they
Yeah,
need
so
that to be able to face that.
a therapist would call that the ability to self-regulate. I just don't assign it to testicles. That's all.
What? Hilarious. Go ahead, ADS. Go ahead, ADS. That's hilarious. Go ahead, ADS. Crazy. We need 2 people at least $5 piece. Y'all support the show. You got it, ADS. My bad.
Yes, 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 yes. But even then, as let's say an adolescent, right? As a small child, there are certain functionalities that, especially as a man, that you need in this world, right?
Mhm.
You always need to be able to protect what you have. You need to provide resources.
Mhm.
If those particular values and principles aren't installed into a child early enough, right? That child could simply slip into degeneracy. So now you got a child you can't get rid of at the age of 40 something, right?
Mhm.
Because they're not self reliant enough. I think that there's some good trauma, like you're getting your ass whooped every once in a while. And I think there's some bad trauma, you know what I'm saying? Get hit with extension cords, things like that, right?
Mhm.
That all kind of contribute to the person and who they are and what they know. Because one thing that's really important that I think we need to teach more of our children are boundaries.
Yes.
Have strong boundaries, right? Have boundaries about yourself.
Let
I
me
like
add to
to.
that. Hold on real quick. Let me add to this, Queen Sanaa, and I wanted to ask you because and shout out to ADS because he made some good points, right? And you made some good points too, Queen Sanaa, and OG, of course, as well. At the same time, I want to understand with this boundary situation, right? How if yelling, because I've seen this, right? Where people will go for if you raise your voice at them, not even yelling, but you raise your voice at them, and it is so triggering for them, or it's so devastating for them, or whatever the case may be. How is that useful? Hold on, let me ask the question. How is that useful when we know good and daggone well, us as parents gonna love and care for our children way more than society will? So they go out to society where people don't give a flying F about them and will say all kinds of things to them and will talk to them all kinds of crazy ways. But we're sitting there trying to pamper them and trying to protect their feelings and have all this soft words and all the sweet sentiments, and we can't even be stern or strict or raise our voice with our children. How do you think that that's equipping them in a society as cruel as the one that we live in?
Hmm. Okay, so the mic drop moment is if my children can't come to me for comfort and softness and knowing that I am a safe place when the world is so cruel, then I have failed as a parent. And here's the thing about the hitting, Sean. Who? I don't even know.
ADS, you talk about
Yes,
ADS.
yes. So even every once in a while, I had to process with that, and I'm like, well, I don't know, go outside and chop some wood, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be to get whatever that is on you off of you. But I also realize that there are some children that'll come back up to you like, no, right? And so even then, when I'm correcting you, is it to knock the fight out of you, which we literally just said is important for survival? Or is it because my ego is bruised? Or am I correcting you to make sure that you understand the hierarchy? And do I have the wit to be able to do that without having to use physical force against the child for whom I am a safe
And
space?
my answer to you, Queen Sanaa, is I don't know. Y'all just be telling us to do it. Men don't be wanting to spank kids.
But
We
hold on.
don't.
Well, I don't
Who's
want
the
to go too far.
y'all?
Wait, hold on real quick. I don't want to go too far off of that because that is subjective, right? But let me say this because ADS, you and Sanaa, you're on to something. Let me say this, Queen Sanaa. Do you believe it's the same that the same level of nurturing and that should be the same between a mother to their child and a father to their child? Do you believe that that's this looks the
Yes.
same? And wow,
In healed people it looks the same, and
wow.
people that feel like they have to uphold a certain archaic way of thinking. No, it's not going to look like that. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying it comes from very old ideologies that
Wait.
hold on, that on the whole have not served our people. That whole dominant hierarchy thing in parenting has not served our people. Discipline says that you make sure the org chart is very clear and posted where everyone can see it. And love and kindness and nurturing goes, all right, come on, let me show you how to do some things. So there's really no need to have that strife there. But we didn't learn that. We had to claw against each other to survive for enough centuries that it is now embedded in our DNA that that is who we have to be to thrive. And it's just not
Well,
true.
I mean, okay, so I adamantly disagree with you, right? Because if it was if it was naturally for the man and the woman to relate to their children in the exact same way with the exact same techniques, there would be no need for a man versus a need for a woman, right? So at the end of the day, I believe that
I need to
men.
stop you there because
Hold
that's
on, real
just not
quick.
true. It's
Wait,
balance.
hold on, real quick. But no,
It's
but it's not.
balance.
No, hold on. It's balanced when there's a man and a woman there. It's not balanced when it's just one person there functioning as two people. That's not balance. There's no such thing. And to further qualify, it's no balance if a woman is behaving in masculine ways or behaving in masculinity, and
This
it's
is a
no
false
balance. Hold on, real quick.
equivalence.
Hold
It's
on,
a
real quick.
false equivalence,
Hold on, real quick.
It does not
Hold on,
One
compute.
hold on,
after
real quick.
me and one
Hold
after
on,
all.
hold on, y'all. Hold on. I will finish my thought, okay? Because I didn't interrupt y'all. I will finish my thought. Let's don't do that. I will finish my thought, okay? So at the end of the day, it's no such thing as balance with one person, right? And it's no such thing as a woman behaving in a masculine manner and being in balance, and a man behaving in a feminine manner and being in balance. And this new age idea that they are one and the same, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. I just don't, I cannot buy that as well. And I believe that's why we have this society that we have today. That's why people are so weak today. That's why people are so weak-minded today, because they have this place where women are men and men are women and everything goes,
Mhm.
and we got to be all liked. And hold on, can you silence those wind chimes if you don't mind? And life just is everything and everything, like it's a free fall, and that is the reason why we're in the place that we're in and why society is so terrible. Go ahead, Queen Sanaa, you can rebut that.
The way in which you just convoluted this entire argument with false equivalences and the robot level gaslighting of the AI from early, that is insane. And I'm going to tell you why it's insane. We're talking about one thing. We're not talking about men or women. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. What we're talking about is having the self awareness to recognize the things that hurt you and recalling the things that help you heal and bringing that to your experience with your children. For example, some children were yelled at so much or heard so much yelling just as a child that as an adult, hearing that thing takes them back to that place and causes so much dysregulation. So that parent is not going to be able to teach their children how to simmer down, settle down, and deal with the uncomfortable until they learn how to do that. Once they learn how to do that, they see that other way is not helping my body. That other way is not helping my mind, and it's not helping my children. So I can do away with it. I can find something better. A path of peace, for example.
Well, okay, but this is the thing, right? So the way that we got here, we are here, and the way that we got here was the premise of what you were saying. And the question came up for me: do you believe that men and women should be regulating the same way? And so that's how we got here, and that's how this conversation got to where it is. Because what you say sounds good, but it really doesn't even sound good to me. I'll be honest. Like a lot of what you're saying to me is the quintessential reason why we are in the disastrous place as a society that we are today. This whole kumbaya, grass feeding, tree hugging, we got to be so soft and so genteel, and oh, the kids are gonna break, and oh, if we talk, if we listen, we don't curse at them, we don't put our hands on them, and we don't do that. We talk to them, but if we raise our voice at them, oh, that's so horrible and bad. Oh, if we put our foot down with them, or we tell them like this is right and this is wrong, that's horrible and bad. We can't like, oh, because of the trauma that we face, and oh, because of what they face. Like, yo, at the end of the day, it's got to be, to me, it's got to be a clear line between what you would accept and what you won't accept. It has to be, it cannot be, because a lot of times the people who speak in these terms that you're saying, they only want to acknowledge their trauma. They only want to acknowledge their triggers, and they will set up boundaries that are in place, that tread on the line of other people's trauma and other people's triggers. What if your boundaries are my triggers?
Then you learn and you come from a place of wanting to salvage the relationship. This is a very good technique in dialectic behavioral therapy. You decide what's more important, how I feel right now or the relationship that I have. And if the relationship is more important, you decide, okay, how am I going to communicate what does not feel safe in my body while simultaneously remembering how I care for this person in front of me. And then you take the steps. And that's why the education and the research is important. Picking up a book, for example, Triple P Parenting in North Carolina, the positive parenting program. Everyone says parenting doesn't come with a manual, but I promise you this one is it. It gives you the opportunity to learn your children's schedules, to find out when they have more of the undesirable behaviors than when they don't, learning what their triggers are and how to resolve them immediately. Oh, she's hungry. Oh, he needs a nap. Just recognizing those things. And a lot of us parents haven't learned to do that because we were raised on survival. So, what's the most important thing is the world is cruel, and you need to know that before you go out there. So, I got to toughen you up. But that's not even safe for our inner children, if we're being honest.
But okay, so how do
It's like you're
okay,
not even pausing to listen to what I'm saying.
no, Quisana, I am, listen, everybody, so this is the thing, right? I process thing on a very high rate. I'm reading I read Robert's comment, I've read Bucket 88's comment, and I read another Corey's comment all at the same time, and heard exactly what you said, and I could tell you exactly what you said and exactly what you meant. Everybody does not process things at the same time. I play chess, I play poker. So because I play chess and because I play poker, I have to be, and because I'm a good salesman, I have to be able to do multiple things that make me a good host as well, or make me I'm able to process information. I apologize if you need me to pause or to slow, and this is what I'm saying, right? So apparently you need me to pause so that you could feel heard. And that's one of your triggers. It seems seemingly,
Don't
let me
don't
just,
make an assumption.
no,
Don't
no, okay,
assume.
okay, okay.
You can ask and I'll tell you. But the book of Jay-Z, chapter
Hold on,
4,
time
verse
out, time out,
44.
time out, time out. I'm talking though. I'm talking. Give me 1 second. So what I'm saying to you is, it seems to me as if you need me to pause for whatever reason. I don't have to pause in myself. I heard what you said. I processed what you said, and I'm with you. And so I had a response, and I had a question based on what you said. That if you would have allowed me to ask you, you would have known that I totally got what you said, and I wanted to understand more.
I don't think that you did because you said it was based on a trigger, and actually, it's based on my learning about the value of the pregnant pause. Again, the book of Jay-Z, chapter 4, verse 44, tells us pregnant pause. The pregnant pause leaves room for everyone in the group to process what was said before they now have to digest the next thing being said. It's a way of being together with people when you have opposing perspectives, but you still want to listen to them without having to feel like you have to make sure they know you're not going to change my mind, because that's not the goal. The goal is to share the education. There are a lot of people listening, and there are a lot of people who actually want to do something different. And that's who I have these conversations for. My lived
So
experience says Yelling sends my children into a space that is really hard to bring them out of, so I'm not going to do that. My lived experience says that spanking my children makes them feel unsafe in their bodies, so I'm not going to do that. My lived experience says children will try you, and it's going to get worse before it gets better because this is different. What is wrong with mom and dad? However, what I know is on the other side of that, they feel safe, they feel whole, they know that you got their back, they know you keep that thing on you, and it's not a problem. You say something, they say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, and they stay on their square because that is what you've given them, not pain and hurt and, feeling little.
So okay, so that would be fine if they lived in a bubble and they only lived in the comfort of your home. We all know, and I don't have the sociological nor psychological evidence at this moment in time, but what I know is that what I'm saying is absolutely correct. We all know that the outside influence of their peer group, of other children, and and social media, and society at large has as much, if not more, of a pull on them than their parents do. So while you should be a good parent and you should do the best you could, that's absolute, right? The thing is, we're not accounting for the societal pressures, peer pressure, and the peer response. So they have to be able to adapt to all different types of personalities. They have to be able to adapt to all different types of situations and scenarios, not just the situation scenario where everything is optimal, the weather is perfect and things are just going great, and a person is just talking soft and light to them and telling them what they need to hear at the moment to be able to get through. No, some situations are high pressure situations. Some situations are high. When you're in a war, let's get to it. This is Veterans Day, man. When you're in a war, they don't train, they break you down in boot camp and put you back in the way to be able to fight a war, in a way to be able to win a war, in a way to be able to, they don't say nice words to you and coddle you and rub your back and tell you everything's going to be all right. Nah, they break down, they break into your traumas, they break into your to your traumatic experiences, they break into it, and then they build you back up from there. After they break their stuff and go into it and run rag shot into it, then they make you a soldier. So at the end of the day, right? And we have had the greatest military for the last, 100 years at least. So at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying. And it sounds, it sounds terrible, a lot of it, but to be honest, but because it's not the way the world works. It's not the way you get success. It's not the way that you have to be able to coalesce or be able to intertwine with other people that don't have those tools, that don't have those techniques, that don't have those resources that you're speaking about. And you're gonna have to be able to navigate through all of those things.
So I just talked about gently teaching your children how to navigate those things, and you said, "No, let's just beat them," and I'm done. I
I
don't
didn't
have
say
nothing
that.
else to add. Yeah, okay. I don't have
I didn't
nothing else
say
to
no.
say
I
about
don't
it.
believe
I'm
in
done
just
talking
beating.
about it.
I got you, but I don't believe in just beating children. Like, so I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
But you,
I gave the example of the military, but because you say you're done talking about it, but I
no, no, no,
did
no,
not.
no. You
Hold on real quick.
said
I
it
did
was
not say beat
nonsense.
children.
You
It
said it was
what I'm saying,
nonsense
it
to
is.
not yell, to teach them how to stand on their square, to discipline them by showing them how to complete tasks and just feeling a sense of pride in it instead of having to feel like they might get beat. You said that was nonsense. And
No,
you
I didn't.
also said that that was harmful for you. So
That's
make
not
it make sense,
no.
sir. Like you said, you're
Okay.
saying two different, it's double speak at this
So
point.
no, I'm not. So if you be quiet, because you
Y'all
said
heard
you're done.
him say it
Hold
in,
on, hold
don't
on.
do that.
If
Don't disrespect
I'm
me.
gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you because you said that you're done talking. So I'm gonna make it make sense for you. Because
Oh,
again,
No, no,
okay.
is
hold
he?
on, hold
No,
on.
no, you
ADS,
good. Y'all have a great day. Y'all have a great day.
ADS, hold on real
Y'all
quick.
have a great day. Y'all heard it
All right,
happen in
thank you,
live.
thank you.
Y'all,
Queen, give me a
Hold
second.
on,
Give me a second.
hold
Let me
on,
look.
ADS, hold on real quick, because no. At the end of the day, you can't tell me what I mean by what I said and then try to hold me accountable for what you think I said. You could do what she asked me to do earlier and ask me what I meant and then go according to what I'm saying I'm meaning and then come to an earnest conclusion, right? That's fair, right? She's taking words that I said, but she doesn't understand what I meant, obviously, by her response. And so instead of allowing me to clarify what I'm saying, she's attributing a meaning that I'm not even saying. And then getting arrayed, getting upset based on her interpretation of what she thinks I mean instead of finding out what I mean. Because I don't believe in beating children either like that. My children can't count on two hands the amount of times they got spanking from me. All four of them combined.
you
They
know, you
can't.
never asked me what I meant.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on
And I
real quick.
tried to tell you what I meant and you
Hold on.
stopped me.
Hold on real quick. I'm trying. I got you. Hold on real quick. Hold
That's
on.
like,
I
yeah.
got. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. I got you. So, yo, the thing is this, right? When I said that I don't agree or I think that is terrible, what I'm speaking about is the lack of, to me it's one-sided. Let me just say, to me it's one side. I think it's great as far as encouraging your children, as far as having conversations with your children, as far as not just going to beating on your children and spanking them and doing physical harm to them because they did. I think that part is great. The part that I think is horrible is it's no balance to the situation. It's all one way. It's all soft, it's all gentle, and it's all passive. That's what I think is horrible.
I tried to explain what I meant and you did not give me the platform to do that. No one said passive but you. I said the balance is the discipline.
How do you
I'm not
discipline?
gonna I'm not gonna make you do push-ups until you pass out. But if you seem to be smelling yourself a little bit, come on, let's get down there and get 50 of them in there. Relax. I don't have to do much else other than that if I teach my children to stand on their square. If something happens to me right now, my children can clean and cook their own food, clean up behind themselves in the kitchen, and they know exactly what help to get. We have a safe word, we have a safety plan, and if some shit went down right now, my children know where to go so that they survive. And
Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. But that was not accomplished by yelling at them. It was not accomplished by being mean, because there's a difference between being firm and being mean. And you may agree that some parents don't really know where the line is.
So let me ask you this: when you say discipline, are you speaking about push-ups and stuff like that? What if that child says no? What if that
The
child
re-
hold on real quick, because let me just finish the question. Let me finish the question. So when you said earlier that sometimes children would just say no. And so I'm asking you, if you say discipline is push-ups or calisthenics or whatever version of physical activity that doesn't involve you spanking that child, and they say no, they're not going to do it. What's the alternative then?
so what has worked in my experience, uh, in the toddler years and in the early elementary school years, and now we just don't have to do this, is I go down into a duck walk, a very deep squat, right? I look up at them so they don't feel looked down at by this big, scary mom, right? Or dad, right? And I take them by the hand and I go, uh, what's going on with you right now? What's happening? And my children now have the emotional intelligence to be able to say, well, I've had a headache all day and I don't know what's going on. I can handle that headache. And then we get back to the business. It's very simple and it works and it's effective because they feel safe. I didn't get out of my body. I'm still somebody they can trust. And I know for a fact that they're going to do what I ask them to. They are my strongest soldiers. And every parent would benefit from learning how to tap into that. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. And I'll be honest with you, Queen Sana. Um, it, I think it's good for it. Might I don't see a lot of men are going to be receptive to it. And what you're saying is valuable. I can see the value in it. You're not totally wrong. Um, and I think these are good things for a mom, right? I can't totally dismiss this for mothers. I just don't see how it'd be effective or or receptive for men. Like, yo, you gonna get a phenomenal amount of pushback for most men. I'll be real with you because of how we're wired and because of how we've been conditioned, right? And so yeah, we can't operate like that. And I'm just gonna be frank with you. Most of us, especially us of melanin, cannot operate like that with our children and be able to get them to especially our sons and get them to the optimal results. Because what I see is this, and this is what I foresee, and I don't know for sure, but I would be willing to imagine that in certain interpersonal situations with other children, that those techniques are not going to work because those children do not have the bandwidth to be able to go through those processes. They don't have the same words, they don't have the same techniques, they don't have the same exposure. And so therefore, what's akin to a god
My
and
kids know
what's a
how to
god to a
box.
non-believer who doesn't believe in anything? So
I
if
hear you.
it's good, at the same time, the problem is the fact that we don't live in a bubble and we don't live in a society where everybody has these tools, techniques, and procedures. And there's nothing wrong with you and that you do it with your children. I just don't think that most men would be able to extrapolate enough value in proceeding in that way to be able to convey to their children what they need their children to be able to know to be able to survive and thrive in society as it is today.
And yet, the information that I'm given is supported by the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He taught gentleness. I didn't hear him raise his voice. And he, supported strong outcomes. And he's not the only one. I did mention triple P parenting. There's even building the protective factors where you're creating the safe spaces that keep life from harming your children while making sure that your children have a regulated, happy, peaceful life. And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But what's wild is that technique that I just taught you, a man taught me that. He modeled that, he showed it to me. He showed me how he does that with his own children. And once I adapted it into my life, our lives became much more peaceful because mommy can be soft, daddy can be hard, and we can provide healthy balance for two children. And that's what I'm saying. Men can be gentle. Men may not want to be gentle, and hey, I can't fight with that. I recommend a good therapist. But I know men can be gentle because I've seen it.
Okay, will you say that mommy could be soft and daddy could be hard? What does that mean? What does that look like?
You as a man knows what it means for a man to be hard and a woman to
No,
be
no,
soft.
I'm asking you from no, but see, we can't do that. I don't want to do that because you said before that I didn't ask you. So now I've heard you. I'm listening. I'm telling you that I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to find out from you, from your standpoint, from your perspective, what does that look like and what does that mean?
Okay. Well, okay. I find it to be an interesting question. First, thank you for asking for clarity. The reason I don't want to answer that question in specifics, outside of just saying, "Hey, this is all anecdotal," is because, like you said, it looks different for different people. So, a manly man for some people, maybe dad can work on cars while mom does this because the children aren't doing too much. And for some people, it may just mean, he can be the papa bear and she can, sigh in contentment and the children are bouncing around happy. It that depends on who's looking at it. The bottom line is he has to be able to show her the ways to make this work because we all know a woman's rage and a woman that's out of her feminine is not something that's nice to be around. But if he can't lead and guide her in that way, then there's no balance. If he can't do it, he can't lead and guide her in that way. So he has to have that ability to do so.
Yo, shout out to y'all. Hey, listen, if y'all want your comments highlighted in red, I got some of y'all just came through. Shout out to my mans and them. Cool Webby. What's up? What's up? What's going on, Mayor 963? What's good? He said this is all fluff. I don't know if she's capping. I wouldn't say she's capping, but it's definitely different. And I understand if we can, let's try to be tolerant. You know what I'm saying? And I think we do need to try to be. I think that what us men could do is we could be more tolerant of other people without having to be so violently opposed to things that don't sound right to us, right? That's I think I could work on, and I've seen a lot of my brothers that we could work on that as well, right? At the same time, I can't go to this extreme myself personally, but it's just a conversation. It's just a conversation, right? Shout out to Familia. God said she's describing mom actions, but it's not enough to prepare them to go into the world. I can see that. I'm being honest. That's my sentiment as well. It doesn't seem like it's a fully encompassing plan that would prepare them for opposing viewpoints. It seems like it's going to make them more sheltered and make them it's going to give them unrealistic expectations. That's what I would believe. But we'll see. Time tells all tells. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're seeing this from a wrong angle. But that's what my initial response is. Lord Jefferson said the belt regulated me. I'll tell you that. Ignorant TV said, you're not listening to her, Izzy. You're just listening to respond. False. I'm listening. Man, we're not all the same. I listen better than 99.9% of people, and my results have said that. I listen better than most people. I wouldn't have been able to be as good as I am at sales if I didn't. I really understand listening. I've been taught how to actively listen to people, but it doesn't mean that I have to pause because I don't need to pause because I heard you. I processed what you said. And if you need me to pause, I will, but I don't need to pause
I
because
need
I
you to
heard you.
pause because
Okay, I got you.
people are trying to listen to what I'm saying, and if you jump right in, for some people it's hard to process what was said right before what you say. It's not about you in that case because we can debate all day. You already know that. It's just that I really want people to get the meat and potatoes of what I'm saying. Because here's the thing, y'all think that being kind to kids means that they won't be able to survive. That's crazy. Uh,
We don't
it's
think that. We don't
well,
think that.
some of you actually just read a comment that resonated that way. But the thing is, you can teach your children how to have, a mean combo and how to walk away so that they can decide, because that could be the day that, you lose your life trying to deal with something you could just have stepped back from because it ain't have nothing to do with you. That is disciplining your children for survival. You can teach your children how to cook. You can teach your children how to clean so that they understand the importance of it instead of it feeling like something that's taken away from their time or their very important lives, right? You can teach your children how to handle that thing. You can teach your children whatever you want to teach them, but you don't have to be your child's first bully to do it.
Wait, but okay, so
Wait, what?
wait, yeah, exactly. So being firm and raising your voice if you have to, or putting some bass in your voice if you have to, is being a bully to your
Not
child.
at all. That isn't what I said. So I'm glad you asked. No, there are parents out there that actually are their children's bullies. I am not talking about having to flex your bass. That's why men have bass. Men don't have to yell because y'all voices are naturally deep and they resonate. However, there are some men out here that think you have to yell at very young children. And that's who I'm talking to.
Uh let me
Not
I
everybody is a geological scientist at Queen Sana. You gotta make things simpler, and sometimes that aggression is needed. Sometimes a boy needs to be checked at an early age. That way, he doesn't behave in his teens, and that requires discipline every once in a while. Now, me, I think I expect my son when I had him probably for about 8, 9 years, probably a total of 2 or 3 times the whole time, right? But I got plenty of spankings, which helped me along to know what was right and what was wrong, because there is a consequence to it. So if you're talking about bullying your child, yes, your child needs to know that you're an authority. They do. I'll go ahead and put the mic back.
No, but I agree. But let me
I,
read
I
this real quick.
applaud I applaud all the parents who have spanked their children 2 to 4 times in their childhood lifetime. That's a lot of restraint and discipline, especially if you were beat as a child. There are parents who believe that every single child offense, even a kid being a kid, requires a whooping. That is who I'm talking to.
Yeah, and that's not most of the people on this side of the game, but I understand. A Manosphere algorithm said, "We won't let you gaslight us. You women think that kids belong to you. Proof of that is when the daddy puts his foot down, you show your fangs." What say you to that?
Some women do that. That is absolutely accurate. In fact, if we're going to, go along the lines of accountability, a lot of women use children as tools against the fathers. I do not
Weapons.
support that nonsense because I am a firm believer that children need both parents because the balance is necessary. Okay. Here's the problem with that. Is he putting his foot down on mommy's neck? Is he putting his foot down through the window? Is he putting his foot down into the bar? Like what are we talking about here? Because there
Well,
are situations where well, we might have to provide some distance for the safety of everyone involved. But children do. They need both parents. Absolutely.
but he's not putting his foot down. He's saying, okay, for example, oh, I got one that really happened. So So my son's mother calls me and she says, "Hey, and it's not a time when she usually calls me. I was like, "Hey, is everything all right?" And she says, "No." I said, "Okay, all right." Well, I'm trying to brace myself. So I'm like, "Oh God." And so she says, "Well, such that happened." And then well, he did such. So I said, "Okay, let me talk to him." So I'm talking to my son and I'm asking my son questions, but I'm asking him to get understanding of what's going on. And he starts crying because he feels like, oh well, I'm he's disappointing me or whatever. And I'm like, look, man, I look, you haven't disappointed me. You're good and you have nothing to cry about. It's okay to cry, but it's not okay to cry when there's nothing to cry about. I'm just trying to understand because I'm not there and I need to know how to protect you. I don't know unless you tell me. But she's getting frustrated with me because she thinks that I'm asking him questions that too early in the
Truth.
morning. Huh? Hold on real quick. Too early in the morning before he goes to school that upset him because he's crying. And I'm like, yo, that doesn't matter. The children do that. Children use that as a manipulation tactic. Children use that as a control tactic. He could really be sad, but he needs to be able to express himself. That's the part I agree with you on Queen Sanaa. He needs to be able to express himself, articulate, and talk through what he's feeling, what's going on. And I'm willing to listen and understand what's happening with him. Yeah.
My son couldn't talk till he was 4.
Okay. Well, I'm
So
not
there
speaking
was
about
so
that.
hold on. Yeah, well, I have to speak up. Golly gee willikers. One of the protective factors is understanding your child's development and why they respond the way they respond and meeting them where they are, not trying to get them to meet you where you are. We're the parent. So if our child is having a hard time crying and doing all of that stuff, what's up with you right now, bud? What's going on? Why you feel like you got to respond like that? And then they feel like it's safe to let us know why. But the minute we say you're crying for no reason, we have just invalidated a reason that's a reason for them. We're
But
their grown-ups.
no, okay, but we see, and that's where we differ, right? I I cannot allow him to have a reason when there is no reason. I understand that as a young man, he can't a person in his school can't ask him a question and he start busting out crying because they asked him a question. He cannot operate like that because he'll be fooled, right? I know that. So I, as his father, I cannot give him that option. I have to take that option away from him. That option is not cannot be there to cry just because you're frustrated or just because you don't want to answer the question or just because you're dealing with something right now. That can't not be your option, especially. Go ahead. It is.
And plus, teaching a child that's okay to whine is teaching them bad social etiquette, right? You have to weed that out early, or what you're gonna have is a whining adult.
Are we talking about crying or whining? Let's just for clarification's sake, because those
It's
are two very different things.
crying
Okay,
and
so let's
whining.
stick to no. We're not we whining is a secondary because yeah, whining is unacceptable. But crying, let me ask y'all men this question. How many men statistically or just, from lived experience have a safe place to cry?
Uh, every man has a safe place to cry in his
Mm,
bathroom, in his closet, under the
alone.
cover, other covers alone. Yes.
You know how many people have called me, how many men have called me just to be heard and break down and wipe their faces and go back out there in the world and try again. It's about providing a safe space. And as a student of psychology and clinical psychology, I understand the importance of that because it helps a person dig a little deeper and go on for a little longer. So if we can do that to our homies or our friends, why can't we do that for our kids? My son's not going to break down and cry in front of nobody. Please, he's busting heads. However, he knows that he can come home and cast the weight of his cares down on the floor and be safe and okay. And if that means he's got to cry, it's all right, bud. When you're ready,
What
let me know what's going on.
what if he wasn't at home though? He was at school, and so he could. That was not the appropriate place for him to be crying. He was at
So
school.
did you separate him from what was upsetting him, or did you make him feel condemned and ashamed for his body's natural response?
No, I tried to separate it, but what I'm saying is because the way we got on this conversation is we're talking about a foot on the neck, and we're saying we're talking about how sometimes the mother, like Manosphere algorithm, will step in, and it'll be an inappropriate way to step in at the time, like it's her child and not y'all child. That's what we were speaking of. That's why I gave this that example. So the point is, Ignat, you said that I raised. Listen, Ignat, you can have all kinds of quiet places and special places and times out that you want to have, and you're gonna have the same result that them white people was having with their children. And by all means, if that's what you want to do. And ain't no quiet places and times out, and cause we gotta talk about it. And even if it's a hard conversation, let's talk about it. I want to hear how you feel, but I want you to be able to express how you feel in words, be able to communicate, be able to express yourself. You don't have to, especially in public. That's not a safe space for you to be crying in public, because people will weaponize that against you, use that against you, think you're soft, and try to take advantage of you, and you could be food.
And that's where you teach your kid to have hands. What are you talking about? That's where you
Of
step in as
course.
a parent and make sure that what did Biggie say when they was looking at his sweater? Bow, now ask me, right? That's when
Nah,
you
but
teach
you
your
can't.
child. I'm not specifically saying that, but you teach your child how to respond to people thinking that they're food so that they no longer believe that they're food. There's no reason to eliminate that just because you allow your child to cry. But check this out. Check this out.
Wait, hold on real quick,
If
because
a
my son.
woman had something to say and you weren't in a place of readiness to receive what she had to say, but she needed to communicate with her words. So she continued to try to impose her words on you to be heard, right? Because she's communicating. How would that make you feel not having the space you need to, be ready for that?
How help me understand how that correlates to this situation, because I don't see the correlation.
Well, you just said, I want you to learn how to communicate what you feel, use
Hmm.
your words.
Hmm.
So there are times when a person using their words is not going to be received by the people around them.
Well,
And
no, he's talking to his father, but that's not. I need him to talk to me. I'm asking him questions to understand the situation, because I'm not where he is, and I wasn't there when it happened. So I'm asking questions to understand the situation, so I can advise on what's the best way to move forward. But if you get offended by the question, like for example, if something goes missing, and let's just say the teacher's glasses got missing, and then the glasses was in your daggone a bag, right? And so now I gotta ask you whether listen, I'm gonna ask you, hey, did you take the glasses? And if you bust out crying because I asked you, did you take the glasses? Like, yo, what are you doing? Like, nah,
Well, last time
no,
that happened to me, my daughter was like, "Ma, I can't believe you would even think I would take the glasses. I feel like I came a long way from there." And I'm like, "Right, you right, you right.
not.
Let me
But what
check
I'm saying,
myself."
no, but no, no,
Yeah, because the
no. Hold on,
relationship
time out,
is
time out,
important.
time out. Yes, but what I'm saying is no. That yo, no. See, this is where I disagree again because again, I trust you, but I have to ask you and you have to respond to me so I know what's going on. So if the glasses is in your bag, they got in your bag some type of way. So I gotta ask you how the glasses got in your bag. It's your bag. Now, it could be a thing of you don't know and someone could have planted on it. But that's when it's on you not to cry, but that's when it's on you to express yourself and say, hey, dad, I don't know, man. I don't know how this got in my bag. I had my bag at this place or that place, and they could have put it in there. Cause we've seen the I don't know if y'all seen the reels. I've seen the reels, the African reels where the woman be putting and the Latino reels where the woman be putting the money in the girl pocketbook, trying to make her get side up and stuff. I've seen those reels, so I know that people do goofy stuff like that, setting people up and stuff like that. But at least I gotta ask you, and then you just tell me, oh well, dad, because you didn't volunteer it to me. You didn't tell me before this. I didn't know about it before this until your mom hit me up. So now you got to express to me, and this is just an example. This is not actually what happened, but you got to express to me, hey, dad, I don't know how my teacher's glasses got in the bag. Maybe one of the students put it in there, trying to set me up. That shouldn't be a source of contention. That should be an opportunity for understanding and opportunity for bond. To me, I'm not gonna not ask you because it might hurt your feelings if I ask you. Like, come on, that the world is not gonna operate with a black man like that. It's not at
And
all.
this is what I mean. I believe that that's why you have to, so that they know that we're stronger together. Because here's the thing, right? We know our kids. We know by one look when our kid actually did do something, and we know sometimes, this seems a little fishy. Let me do a little more digging. What's wrong with saying, "Listen, bud, and I know this might not sit well with you right now, but I gotta ask you, did you take the glasses?" As soon as he says no, all right, cool. Let's move into action, right? We don't even have to dwell on the uncomfortable feeling, but we created space for it. So now there's not a child crying because they don't know, how to feel right now.
Right. And that's what happened. But if they cry as soon as you ask them that, it's like now you look at them side eye a little bit. What's that easy? Say ain't no crying until the funeral. Shout. That's
No, she makes a really good point with that space thing, though. She really does.
what do you
Because if
mean?
that child feels that there's an open space there to have a discussion with you about something that they've done, that I
Hmm?
wouldn't say isn't completely repercussion free, but mostly repercussion free, they're more likely to talk to you about it, right? I think that's what she's beating around to. Right, Queen Sanaa?
Yes, because for example, I can ask my son or my daughter right now, is that actually what happened? And they're either gonna go, yeah, and then they'll give me a little more detail, and it's like, all right, I'm feeling where you're going. But then there's other times when it's like, no, I gotta tell you the truth, and then they'll tell me the truth. But I have created that environment for them to feel like they can do that without shame, without guilt, and then with the understanding that we're gonna do it a little differently the next time. They're human. There's a learning curve, there's a growth curve, and I guide them through it. I'm not their drill sergeant, I'm their mom. He's not their drill sergeant, he's their dad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sort of.
yeah. Robert W said, "The iron will get your mind right." Lord Jefferson said, "That's part of making the population docile to eliminate the R complex brain, which controls your fight or flight senses. Fluoride makes the population docile." Shout out to that. He also
Agree.
says something like, "What? Give me some examples, Queen." I think that was her earlier. Corey
Okay.
said, "Respectfully, absolutely not." Robert W said no such thing. I think that was talking about what you said earlier.
Well,
What?
listen, I have
What?
some
Hold on,
examples.
real quick. I got you, but hold on, give me a second, please. Give me a second. Shout out to Bucket A. He said, what a crock of BS. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Shout out to you. Robert W. said, men shouldn't be sugar, watery, sweet. Lord Jefferson said, life is not gentle. Prepare your kids for the real world. Familiar God said, Izzy is 100% right. Ogun says, safe place, LOL. HT Bold 1 said, hey, Iz, what's up? HT Bold 1, salute. He told you why he was crying. He felt like he disappointed you. Well, no, that's what his mom said. But anyway, Izzy is raising right now. Kid number 4. He must be doing something right. It is what it is. Ogun never coming soon said, Iz said the same thing, Queen. Right. Go ahead. I just wanted to welcome people. Hey, listen, we need 2 more people to reach our goal. 2 people send us at least $5. Help us reach our goal today. Y'all getting a dope, phenomenal discussion. Can y'all support the show, please, and thank you. Help us reach our goal. We need 2 people, at least $5 a piece. Support the show, support the stream. I mean, some people will find that offensive. And if you do, F you, I don't care. To those that don't find that offensive, support the show. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Here's the thing that stands out to me, and I have a couple points. So I just want to get, please. I know my train is long. Just let me get through it. One thing that was said was about a man thing versus a woman thing. Let's put a pin in that. I think it's important to understand that, if you will envision a mother, a father, their offspring, exercising together, deep breathing together, eating the right foods together, having routines that support the best outcomes for the family together, regardless of, where they live or any of that. What that looks like to me is a healthy, balanced, living environment. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. And when I listen to people saying, no, you have to do more, you kind of don't. And unless you've had the opportunity to experience it for yourself, you may never understand it. But let's talk about spare the rod and spoil the child, shall we? That phrasing actually came from planting and growing. It came from planting and growing. If you take a stick for the sake of making your plant stronger and to grow upright, you have 2 choices. You can whack it with the stick and kill it, or you can put the stick beside the plant, tether the plant to the stick so that it can stand upright, make sure it has what it needs to thrive, and watch it grow on its own. It is literally the same thing with children, and that does not require physical force. It doesn't require it. Doesn't mean it's not necessary every now and again, but it's not a requirement for success. It's an outlier.
Thank you to Vixen Forever. I appreciate you, my sister. I'm going to celebrate y'all all at the end of Vixen Forever. Because of Vixen Forever, we just need 1 more person, at least $5 a piece. Y'all help us reach our goal. We need 1 more person, at least $5 a piece. Hey, OG Do Dirty, I ain't heard from you in a while. You got anything you want to add to any of this?
Yeah, bro. I don't really have a problem with. I mean, it's all different type of methods, bro. I agree with one thing that y'all all, but basically everybody's saying is that, you know what I'm saying, you got to treat each kid differently because each one of them are different. But I don't really have a problem with the methods. But I do know that, you know what I'm saying, me growing up, I had a father that was strong and a mother that was, you know what I'm saying, strong-handed. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that they installed any type of fear in me. It's just, it's kind of like what Lord Idiot said, you know what I'm saying? They had to show what authority was. So I haven't been to the point to where I haven't seen, well, I don't have kids anyway. So I only do this with my nieces and nephews, and I look at their parents on how they treat them, and they more pandering than anything. So it's kind of like I have to pull them to the side and be like, hey man, you know what? We didn't grow up like this, you know what I'm saying? So I have to explain to them, but I know they just don't get it, bro, because they still don't get the type of discipline we got when we was growing up. So they still talk back, and I still see this stuff as disrespect. To me, it don't work, but it works for them.
If you will, go into that a little bit, OG Do Dirty, because I want to get a clear understanding. So when you say you mean the pandering thing don't work, like your brother and your sister kind of pander to their children instead of being a little more firm with the discipline? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I guess it's the point of somebody said it earlier. I can't remember who said it. It's what your parents did to you. So, our parents was a little bit strong handed. So they put that rod on us. You know what I mean? So they don't want to do it to theirs. And I can see it. I can see the difference between how we look at things and how they look at things. I ain't gonna say scared to talk back to my mother or my father. I just do not to.
Mm-hmm.
I knew
So
it
you
wasn't
think
necessary. That little extra, they pulled that little extra, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they say, go do them dishes, man. Whatever. They pulled that up out of me. I got to the point where I stopped saying it. I just did it because I looked at it differently. Like, man, what's the reason to me keep on arguing with them over these little bitty things? I know I'm supposed to be getting this stuff done. And I realized, like, you know what I'm saying? I got a way to shut them up. If I just do everything before they even say it, what can they say to me?
right. But you're saying your nieces and nephews,
They
what's
don't
their
see it that way.
how
They definitely see it that way. They
how
want to get, seem like they want to get yelled at, bro, or they want to, because they do little things like it's like they uh, pushes their parents, bro, to get some type of reaction out of them. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why won't you just do it? Like, you heard what he said. Go do it. What are you waiting on?
So
You know
do
what I'm
they
saying?
are they disrespectful or do they just walk slow
No,
and do
you know how it is. It's that,
yeah, they kind of do what they
yeah,
want to do and then finally get to it when they feel
yeah,
like it type
yeah.
situation.
But it get done. It's just, but then you still have to keep on. But I
Telling
guess
them over.
that'd be the part where Queen is talking about. It'd be a part of parenting because you have to keep on going back and speaking to them, and then eventually they'll get it. I guess, you know what I'm saying. But they
No,
still at a
absolutely
young.
not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Please finish, but you made me think of something.
So when I look at them, I try to tell them, you know what I'm saying. The easiest thing to do is I just skipped it. You know what I'm saying. Instead of letting them go through all that, man, just go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying. If you go ahead and do it, they're not gonna say nothing. Now the oldest ones, they getting it, but the younger ones, you know what I'm saying, they still, do their thing. They still mollygag around. You're like, bro, they could have been done 30 minutes ago. You know they're gonna say something. But it seems like they want them to say something. Like, bro, why won't you want you act like you get tired of them talking to you, but you continuously do things that make them want to talk to you. Like, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't make no sense for you not to. That type of stuff. So
All
I
I
wouldn't
want to
know.
say is this to the whole comment. I want to make sure everyone out. Proverbs 13:24 says, those who spare the rod hate their children, but those who love them are diligent to discipline them. There you go.
Thank you. That's the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be unto God. See, here's the thing about that. Our interpretation of the rod is the problem. Discipline is the rod. Discipline does not automatically mean physical, corporal. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It means what you make it mean for the best outcomes of your family. So if the only thing you can do is spank, which, for a long time, that's the kind of parent I was. At some point, the child is going to be old enough to look back at you and be like, this is not doing anything, right? Whether they say it or not, you just have that realization that you have no other tools in your toolbox. And what I'm saying is there is a lot of value for the sake of your entire family and your community, because people are watching, to get some more tools, put them in your toolbox, and use them without having to resort to violence. And I don't understand why anyone would have a problem with that.
What's up, No Chaser? What's going on? What's up? What's up? Peace. Abby Wardy. Good to see both of y'all. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all, man, in the building. Thank you for the double up of Vixen Forever. I appreciate you, my sister. Lord Jefferson says, so y'all both saying the same thing, balance. Yeah, I believe in balance. I don't believe in necessarily jumping to spank children, and I don't believe in spanking children while you're angry at all. I've never spanked my children when I was angry, and like I said, out of all four of them, they could count on two hands the amount of times I spanked them all combined. So spanking is not my go-to. Talking to is my go-to. At the same time, I will not tolerate a child of mine to be disrespectful and to be like nah. We
I
ain't gonna
mean,
do that.
nobody looks forward to spanking children. Okay, there's better things to do with our time besides spank kids, right?
I
But
know
to
some people
not
say
that
that pleasure out of it. Go ahead. I'm just saying. Go ahead,
But
Lord.
to me, but from my perspective, it is kind of necessary, right? When things get to a certain level, physical discipline should be applied, right? That's the only way to kind of mitigate that and to kind of counter that type of energy, right? To show that there's a consequence to that behavior. Now, I'm not the no saying I am no parenting expert by fault, but I could tell you this: it seems like kids who got those spankings when they were little are more successful than the ones who didn't.
It seems that way to me too. A disciplining children is not being violent. Right. I get it. It doesn't have to be. And I don't think it has to be. At the same time, I think that if you have to spank that child, then you should. And then you should tell them why they got spanked. And you should not provoke them or try to be, cruel about it. At the same time, you should tell them why you spanked them. You should reinforce the fact that you love them and that you didn't want to do that. At the same time, you told them X amount of times, and this is the consequence to their action once it went over a certain thing. That's what I believe, and I don't have no. Go ahead.
And then you teach them in a way that that behavior never has to occur again. That is our responsibility as parents. If I spank you once for something, we don't have to revisit this because lesson learned. So next time, what's on your mind right now? Handle it. Yes,
Amen.
ma'am. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but and that's pretty much been the way that it's been. At the same time, I don't know. I just know that
I mean, from
you know
my experience,
hold on real quick, it is. Hold on real quick. I just feel like, at the end of the day, maybe my approach of not spanking as much has not been the best. Some couple of them children that had needed to be spanked a little bit more because maybe they had their mind right. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, ADS.
having to spank a child like Queen Sana just said.
So now
Yeah, Sana, yeah, forgive me for pronunciation. Remember, I got kind of a thick southern kind of lip and tongue, right?
you good. Pause.
Yeah, Paul. But back to what we were saying, right? I, having to repeatedly spank a child for the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, that speaks to your parenting skills, right? Or there may be a disability or something going on with the child. You know what I'm saying? Because like the queen was saying up here, right? If you got to keep whooping your kid for the same thing over and over and over again, something ain't working, right? And you're doing damage at that point. There needs to become a point where, in the back of your head, especially as a man, you got to think whenever you're disciplining a child and when you're doing damage to the child, right?
I agree with that. I agree with that part. Shout
Yeah.
out to Savage. What's up, Savage? Savage said, "My queen." What's up, Savage? What's going on, bro? Um, Abi Wody said, "If I have to speak more than once, I'm whooping ass." Straight up. Shout out to Abi Wody. You man, you rough boy. You rough boy. You're
I mean,
rough.
because we've already visited it. Like at this point, what are we doing?
You
Right?
rough boy.
But think children will engage in attention seeking behavior. They will. And sometimes kids are just being kids. So we also have to be mindful to understand why certain behaviors are so unsettling for us as adults. I know my son used to hang back and try to examine every rock and every leaf and everything else, right? And I used to get so aggravated, like, let's go. Over time, I realized it was because I didn't feel safe in my own body. So if I didn't have control over him being right beside me at all times, that was problematic. But at the time, it did not dawn on me to understand what was going on with him. Turns out my son is quite the scientist. He can identify every single rock that he encounters, and that's wonderful, right? But if I had taken a little time back then to nurture it before nurturing what didn't feel good for me, we may have gotten a lot further a lot sooner. And that's what I'm saying. As parents, we have to be accountable for the outcomes of the ways in which we choose to raise and discipline our children based on who they are, not necessarily based on these ideologies that we have.
I
I
agree
mean,
with that
that's
thousand
fair.
percent.
Yeah, that's fair. I could agree with that. I just the soft, cuddly stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but
So you
I
wouldn't cuddle your son?
of course I do.
Oh, so I don't
I'm
understand
being
what you're
I'm
saying.
trying to be funny. I'm trying to be funny. But of course. But I listen. He know. I try to be balanced with him. You know what I'm saying? I show him love as a father. At the same time, I understand that I have to be firm with him and because he if I let him, he will push the boundaries. That's just who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? He will go as far as I let him go. So I gotta show him love, but at the same time put boundaries in place and enforce those boundaries. And sometimes he try me. I'm like, all right, man, you know what I told you. Or okay, man, really? And then and it's a thing too with this reward system thing. I'm trying not to, and I only really got that down either. But when I try to reward him when he does good, but I don't want him to think. And I've told him that just because you do good, that you're going to get a reward, because sometimes that reward doesn't come right away. And so it's a balance in that. Even though I've had 4 children, I would say that I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to do the best I can, because every child is different, and every child's needs are different, and so that you do have to know your child, converse with your child, be in tune with your child to make sure that you provide the best plan for them and for their development. I agree with that. I just don't like the option of whipping ass off the table. You got to whip some ass, you got to whip some ass, and some ass got to get whipped. It's just what it is.
Listen, it is what it is, and it also sounds like slave talk. But I'm gonna leave that where it is. But check me out though. Check me out though. I despise spanking so much based on my childhood and the parent I was when I was a young parent, that it is imperative that I make sure I raise my children in a way where I don't have to whip them. That is 100% on me.
Fair. I mean, that's fair, and that's fair to say. But that's fair to say, and that's growth. Yo, I appreciate y'all coming up and kicking it with a uh, shout out to Queen Sanaa, came through. We don't always have to agree, but it's the way that you disagree that counts. There was a slight moment where she got a little warm with me. She tried to rage quit. We didn't let her. Yo, ADS,
You
what's
never
saying?
let me cook.
You girl, we gave you the mic. You kidding me? We gave you the mic. I'm gonna tell you they're gonna call me a simp and a white knight tomorrow, but I gave you the mic. Shit, I just couldn't let you. You tried to debo a couple times. But go ahead, ADS. What say you? What's your last words, brother?
Great show, Izzy Bands, Queen Sanaa. A pleasure meeting you. You're like the most eloquent lady. Like, you got to be at least close to that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, but I'll leave that alone. But I enjoyed the conversation. OG Do Dirty. Thank you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Me, OG Do Dirty, kick on 2 or 3 pounds a day. So this is my brother here, and I just want y'all to know that. OG Do Dirty, my dude. You good dude.
Appreciate it.
Izzy Bands. I think that you and Queen Sanaa should do a show together. I really enjoyed this conversation today. It was very, very enlightening and kind of to hear that position, right? And
Queen
I think that
Sanaa
really,
is Jamaican, ADS. She got 100 job, and she's not. She'll say she'll do a show, and
He's
then
speaking for me.
She'll not be able. I tried to do a show with Queen Sanaa. Queen Sanaa is Jamaican. She got 100 jobs. She got a million things going on. You heard her. She's making clothes. She's doing hit songs. She's modeling. She's writing books. She's a philosopher. She's a psychologist. She got 100 job, man. She
I
don't
have
got
a
no time.
scribe. I have a team of seamstresses. I have a. You
Okay.
understand what I have time. I have time. Let's do it, show.
Now she has to. Okay, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
hold you to that because I'm calling bullshit. But
The
anyway,
boss ain't got to do all the job.
I'm calling bullshit. But hey, shout out to that. And if you can, Queen Sanaa is welcome to come over here and do a show. Shout out to my sister, just me. My sister from another Mr. Mother. She came, she hit me up. She said, "Izzy, you want to do the show?" And then we're doing the show on Monday. So if Queen Sanaa want to do a show, we could do a show. It's all good. Go
and
ahead,
Destiny
ADS.
is a very likable personality as well. I enjoyed those conversations too, right? I think she's very intriguing with some of her positions, and I like her medical expertise. I really think that's cool, right? So, can we just do an all women's panel, Izzy?
No.
Right?
I don't got no way. Hell no. You see how they do when there's multiple of them, they're gonna try to jump me, and I don't want to have to show my fangs online. You know what I'm saying? When it's one of them, I could just be like,
I thought that was strong.
or two of them, I could be like,
you can't handle a 1v5.
When it's like 3, 4, 5 of them, I got my fangs got to come out, and I don't want I've been doing good. I've been doing good.
Man, they said men are the strongest species. I'm shocked.
Hey, I just told you I could take two, 3 y'all, but y'all 4 or 5.
Ah,
Y'all get to jumping and gang it up on people. Like, nah, I'm good.
no, get you a panel of balanced individuals who
No
understand
such
how to share the floor and say it with their chest, and I think it'd be a great show.
no such thing. But we'll see.
Hey,
We'll see. It sounds good. Hey, but and then get man, it's like herding cats. ADS. She's saying some good stuff, but we'll see. We shall see. I'm about show and prove. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I give it up. I'm about put it on the wood where it's good. Let's don't talk about it. Let's be about it because I'm always about it. You understand what I mean? You understand me? I'm always about this life. You feel me? But thank you, ADS. I appreciate you, bro. Salute. Happy Veterans Day to you, brother. Yo, OG Do Dirty. What's the last words, good brother? What's your last words, pimping? Oh shit.
oh man, you know me, man. Great conversation, great show. Keep on doing your thing, brother. You know what I'm saying? I'll let your boy, man, come through and mess with me sometime, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So you busy tonight, right?
Huh?
You busy tonight, right? You got the show to do tonight, Tuesday, huh?
What's Tuesday? I'm not sure, brother. Don't get me to lie to you. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know what I'm gonna have going on. I might have to make a move real quick, but as soon as I can, I will come through and holler at y'all for sure.
Yeah. You know, we on them police backs today. So you know what I'm saying? We kicking in the bootlicker. So you know what I'm saying? You come over there and have some fun. That's all I can tell you.
All right, y'all make sure y'all check out OG Do Dirty later on tonight. You gonna be over there at Tom's or you gonna be over there at your channel?
We'll probably have both of them going at the same. It's the auditor frauditor. So you know, we do audits on them, and you know, look at the different videos across social media that you know what I'm saying. We try to bring people up there too. If you do it, man, come holler at us, man. If you audit the police, anything like that, do those. We doing financial audits too, bro. So I think you'll like that too, because you know you get down with that there. So yeah, just like I say, man, if y'all got a chance, just come on, holler at us. But I wasn't trying to plug nothing. Appreciate the plug, though.
Cool. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying.
Y'all
Appreciate
go ahead
it.
and holler at my man OG Do Dirty on his channel. Put your channel in the chat later on this evening. Right now, after this show, my man Drip is live. So go over there with Drip. Tell him I sent you. You know what I'm saying? But check out my man OG Do Dirty later tonight over there with Uncle Tom. Put your channel in the chat. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, bro.
Go
I'll put
listen
it
to
in.
my single. Go listen to my single. Why you fussing?
Okay, listen to Queen Sanaa's single While You Fussing. You could go ahead and put that in the chat as well. The link to that in the chat. I'll play that on the way out. You got anything else going on that you want to talk about or plug?
Yeah, if I could find the mute button. We have a huge giving campaign coming up. We'll be giving out packaged socks, extra small through extra large ankle and calf socks. The extra small can fit toddlers, the extra large can fit some large feet. We also have some t shirts and some underclothing for men and women. It's cold outside, so join me on the giving campaign. Shoot me a DM, QS Queen Sanaa on Instagram, QS Queen Sanaa on Facebook, and find out how you can join this endeavor. But in the meantime, y'all go on and stream while you fussing for the one time.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that real quick on the way out. Appreciate you coming through. I'll holler at you behind the scenes to see about this show. I'm calling cap, but you know, I don't even like that word. I'm calling bullshit, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see about this show. I'm down if you down. But I appreciate you coming through. It definitely was a dope discussion. I hope that you didn't get too razzle dazzle because you know I keeps it real everywhere I go. I ain't never gonna hold back, baby. I keep it real everywhere I go. I'm gonna be me. You feel me? You feel me?
All my life I had to fight.
All my life.
All
Hey,
my life I had to
much
fight.
love to you. Have a great day. And we happy Veterans Day to you and to yours. And we'll holla at you later. Peace. So I'm gonna play the Queen Sanaa track. What you fussing for? What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for on the way out. Cause y'all been doing a lot of fussing. Shout out to my man Drip. Make sure y'all check out Drip Nation after this. Go over to Drip after we play this track. You know what I'm saying? What you fussing for? Queen Sanaa. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you check out this. You know what I'm saying? If it pull up. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. What? Okay, there it is. That song has very, very grown on me. This song has grown on me. At first, I was like, I don't know if I like it, but it's a banger. It's just a banger. So check it out. Y'all be the ones to decide. Let's get into it. We about to drop this joint, and we out of here. We out of here. Yeah, let's get it.
Got dinner on the table, and you don't even want it. I tried to talk to you, and you just wanna fuss. If you did what I wanted, I wouldn't be so bothered. I'll see you in the morning. I don't wanna argue, so what? What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. I don't know what you fussing for. Tell me what you fussing. Here we go. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing. Wanna know what you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing. I forgot to pay my bill. And the lights went out. They turned my lights out. You took me to your crib. And you put me out. Tell me what I did. Oh, my mouth. It was my mouth. You know I did that beat. And worked it out, yeah. So what you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. Lord, here we go. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. I don't wanna know. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. If you did what I wanted, I wouldn't be so bothered. With you. I'll see you in the morning. I don't wanna argue. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. I don't know. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. Here we go. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. I don't wanna know. What you fussing for? Tell me what you fussing for. I can't argue with you no more. Ooh, I love you. I really, really love you. But I gotta move on. I love you. I really, really do. But I gotta move on. Let it go, let it go, let it go.
And shout out to Queen Sanaa. What you fussing for? Make sure y'all check that out. Check her out on YouTube. Subscribe. What you fussing for? Y'all know y'all got them. She got them bangers. Money on My Mind, Queen Sanaa. And it's Prince Castro featuring Queen Sanaa, Money on My Mind. That's her as well. Speaking of Money on My Mind, shout out to my peoples of Vixen Forever. Thank you so much, sis. Shout out to Jay Lewis. Thank you so much. Shout out to my brother, sponsor of the show, Living Humbly. Thank you so much, family. Shout out to KO Black, to Corey's Burner. Appreciate Kojak 303. They're great. To Willing to Win, to Lord ADS, to Jay Watts, to the Drip Show. Appreciate you, bro. To Romello 747. Thank y'all very, very much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. Thank y'all so much. I pray y'all have a happy Veterans Day. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with me, and it means the world to me. I think we're going to end this one the way we started it. I'm going to give you a drip banger on the way out. This intro is going to be our outro for right now, I think.